Hiya, welcome to my channel. I'm Steve, and this gorgeous girl is Madge, my best friend and travel buddy. We're off on another journey in our self-built campervan, exploring some of the most beautiful and peaceful corners of the UK. Along the way there'll be country walks, coastal stopovers, plenty of bird watching, and I'll be cooking up some of my favourite Thai dishes from the van. So if you enjoy travel, nature, wildlife and good food, we'd love you to join us on the road with Madge and me. Right, so we've just arrived in Ilfracombe on Granville Road. We're parked in the Granville Road car park. It's a little bit tight for Emma, but it'll do. Now, the drive here was quite hilly, really steep, and I had issues with my brakes. My brakes were like literally smoking coming down the hill. So I pulled over and let them cool down, and they feel a bit spongy now, so they've got air in them somehow. So we're gonna go for a mooch around Ilfracombe, and then I'm gonna have a go at bleeding them a little bit later. Or I might just wait till morning because it's freezing cold. See how long it takes us to go and have a mooch around Ilfracombe. Now the beach isn't very pretty, really, but the town itself is. It's quite nice. It's nice over there. But yeah, the beach reminds me of like Tenerife or Limassol. Limassol beaches like that. Grey, grit. The weather's still quite dull as well. It's cold, damp. Yeah, it's okay. I see it's actually quite a nice colour. See how the van's parked over there. So we've walked around the coastal path from where the vans were parked, and this is round the other side. It's really quite beautiful. Madge, I'm gonna have to put you on the lead. Quite nice frontage on the shops. still in Ilfracombe. Woke up to a pleasant morning. It's not too cold, so an ideal time to work on the van. So yeah, I've got a bit of air in the brake system. I struggled to brake coming downhill off Porlock Hill into Ilfracombe last night, yesterday afternoon rather. So I'm going to have a go at bleeding the brakes. I've got a bleeding system. This bit goes on the bleed nipple. This bit goes on the spare tyre to give pressure. We fill the bottle with brake fluid and connect the other end here where the brake fluid goes. Yeah, if I remember last time we used this on my mate's van, it was a little bit tricky. It wasn't an ideal tool, but when you're out on the road, you know, these things just need doing. Otherwise it'll be go to a garage to get it done, and I'd rather not do that. So I'm gonna have a go. So first job is get the spur wheel off to use for pressure, and then I need to get this wheel off to access the bleed nipple. I can do the front ones by turning the wheels, but the back ones, the wheels need to come off so that I can see what I'm doing. And we do it in the order of rear left, rear right, front left, front right. It doesn't help that I've got a bag of spanners missing. I have no idea. It's a bag of ring and open-ended spanners with every size that I need. So I'm going to find that difficult because I've got a few adjustables and a socket set to work with. So whether I manage this or not, I don't know, but I'm going to give it a go. So just to show you what I've done, there's a little bracket here where this tool goes, and you wind it down and then it drops it down onto this wire, and then you need to undo this screw here. You pull them out of your pocket. I have a habit of losing these things, and then you just gotta work this out. It's a bit awkward when you first try to do it, but it does come out. There we go. What's that bit done? So next bit is get the spur wheel down to about 20 psi pressure, because that's the ideal pressure you need for the bleeding system. So I need to let some air out of it. So I've got the tyre pressure down to I've got it down to 25 on the gauge, because that gauge is not accurate, so I think 25 will be okay. I've got the bleeding tool connected up and a rag ready to catch any spillage, because I don't think this is a very good tool, to be honest. But so next job, jack it up, get the rear wheel off. So the wheels are off. The bleed nipple is here. It's got a little rubber cap on it, on the caliper. I'm going to take that off. It's quite tight. There we go. Little rubber cap to protect the bleed nipple, which is this thing here. Put that somewhere safe. And then this bottle, this cap, goes on the bleed nipple. It doesn't fit very well. Let's put some more pressure on it. I think this is the trouble we had last time. It's not an ideal tool. Oh, that's quite tight actually. So yeah, I'm going to put a rag around there as well, just to collect any leakages, because I suspect there will be, but we'll see. Before I start, I need to make sure this rusty old thing that I've never used for years is going to do the job. In fact, it's a bit stiff. I'm going to put some WD-40 on that before I start. I think I'm ready to go. The sun's coming up, look. The sun always shines on the righteous, they say. Does that mean I'm righteous? I might be a self-righteous. Okay, that's the first one done. There was a little bit of air in it. You can't see it now, but the fluid came down here and there was some air bubbles and then pushed down into the bottle. And there's no air in that line now, so I've tightened it up. I can take the nipple off and then do the rear driver's side. Now, nipple cap's back on. I'm just going to put the wheel back on and go over to the other side. As I suspected, don't know whether you can hear that. It is leaking a little bit there, only a little bit. That's why I put the rag there. Yeah. I'm just looking at this nipple again. It's a little bit wet and I have dried it off as best I can. I'm wondering if that's where it's letting air in. So I'm going to give it a spray with brake and clutch fluid, and then I'll check on it in a couple of days and see whether it's wet again. So I'll give that a minute to dry off before I put it all back. And if it still looks wet in a few days, and that is where the air's getting in. I have already renewed the front calipers. I intended to do the rear ones and discs anyway. I didn't do the front discs, but yeah, I think when I get back off this trip, that's the next job. Rear discs and calipers. May as well put new pads on as well, and same with the front. So that's that one done. On to the other side. I won't bore you with all the rest. It's the same for all four wheels. So yeah, I'll crack on. Right, managed to bleed them. So I've just got to wrap everything up now. Put some air back in the spare tyre and put it back, remove everything, put all my tools away. I found the spanners that I'd lost as well. I do not remember putting them where I found them, but that's typical of me. So yeah, it's all good. Hopefully that's done the job. There was quite a bit of air in the front driver's side. No. After a quiet night beneath dramatic cliffs in the historic seaside resort of Ilfracombe, and my brakes problem sorted, we headed into Cornwall for a campsite stopover in Bude. Having a quick stop off in Bideford to stretch legs and have a brew on the way to Bude. I'm travelling to Bude to a campsite. I'm going to stay on a campsite tonight. I thought I'd just nip into Bideford and have a look. It's very nice. Along the river, I've forgotten the name of it. Twaddle, Torridge, that's it, Twiddle. The River Twiddle. No, it's the River Torridge. It's nice. Trying to tell me? Do you want something? Eh? I think it's food time. Do you? I think it's food time. It's a bit early. Is that because we were up early this morning? Yeah. We was up early this morning, weren't we? You trying to tell me you want something? Tonight I'm going to make the classic and popular Thai dish, Pad Grapao. Pad is stir fry, grapao is holy basil. I'm going to make it with chicken. It's traditionally done with either pork or chicken. So chicken is gai, so I'm making Pad Grapao gai. Let's get started. Before we start, let's just go through a few of the ingredients. I'm using chicken which is diced quite finely, chopped into small chunks. It's usually minced, but I prefer it a little bit chunkier than that. I'm using green beans. These have already been blanched. Traditionally, Thais would use long bean or string beans. This is the basil. Strictly speaking, it isn't grapau. Grapau is holy basil. I'm using sweet basil, but I prefer sweet basil, and any basil will work if you can't get hold of any. And I've just got a few other bits here just for garnish later on. I'm using chopped sweet peppers as well. Now, in the mortar and pestle, I'm going to make up the basis of my sauce. I've got chilies. I'm using bird's eye chilies and garlic, and I'm just going to chop those up into a rough paste, or bash them rather. I'm going to make up the sauce. In here I've got a couple of tablespoons of soy sauce. I'm going to go in with a tablespoon of fish sauce as well. I'm also going to add some dark soy sauce, or sweet soy sauce, which is like oh, sorry, that's oyster sauce. I want a tablespoon of oyster sauce. And some dark soy sauce, which is soy sauce with molasses in it. It's a little bit thicker. Okay, it just adds that bit of extra flavour. And then I'm going to mix that together. I'm going to add some water as well. And I'm going to add some palm sugar. Okay. Palm sugar, if you've not seen it before, usually comes in a puck like so. You just chop it up. And I'm just going to mix that in until the sugar is dissolved. And that will be our sauce. I'm going to fry up my paste. You don't have to have it too hot because you will burn the garlic. And as soon as you start to get that big hit of pungent smell from the garlic and the chili, it's time to go in with your chicken. You're going to try and coat your chicken with all of that herb paste as best you can. Turn up the heat a bit now, and then we're just gonna cook that chicken through. Don't have it too hot because you will burn the garlic. The smell is unreal. Once the chicken is almost cooked, you can go in with the green beans. Then we're going with the red peppers. Okay, that chicken is now cooked. I'm going to go in with the sauce. Mix it all up. And as soon as that's back up to just about boiling, I'm going to turn it down. Throw in the basil. Looks like there's a lot, but it will wilt down to next to nothing. You don't really have to cook the basil too much. I'm just going to use residual heat and let the flavour of the basil get into those juices and that chicken while I wait for the rice to cook. So here we go, I'm going to serve it up, and typical of Thais, it had a fried egg on top, and I've cooked it just like they like to do it, crispy on the bottom. It looks burnt, but that's how they do it. And just to finish off, I'm gonna use this condiment. This is a typical Thai condiment called prik nam pla. Prik is chili, nam pla is fish sauce. It's simply a couple of tablespoons of fish sauce, a tablespoon of freshly squoze lime, and some little chilies, and they've been soaking in there for a bit, and you just put that over the top of your egg and rice like so. Garnish it with a sprig of basil and a couple of chilies and a couple of wedges of lime. Fried egg is kai dao, so we have pag grapau gai kai dao. Lovely jubbler. Hello again. So as usual, just wrapping up editing my video, ready to go out tomorrow. This one is the Ilfracombe video, which was quite eventful, as you've seen. Ended up having to bleed the brakes, as you'll see in future videos when I finally get around to editing them, because I've got such a backlog of videos, it's unreal. Well, anyway, when I finally get around to editing, you will see that I eventually solved the mystery of the problematic brakes. What was happening is was the two front calipers, which I replaced not 6 months ago. But I replaced them because one of them was binding on one side, so I just replaced them both. In the caliper there are two pistons in each one, and when you put your foot on the brake, you activate the calipers pistons to squash the brake pads onto the disc. Squash, it's not the right word. Squash. They don't actually squash, like they're not spongy. Although they felt like it when I was driving. Anyway, I'm waffling on now. What I'm trying to say is that the two pistons, only one piston in each on either side, was working, hence why I couldn't stop the van coming down a steep hill. But anyway, I've managed to sort it. I've replaced the calipers on the front, and I've replaced the discs and pads on both front and back, as you will see in an upcoming video. So yeah, next week it will be a Tintagel. We stopped over in Tintagel after Ilfracombe, so that's on the agenda for next week. So for now, thank you so much to everyone who subscribed and comments and likes my videos. It is really appreciated. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.